So this was a really fun kite session at a place called Lanes on the North Shore of Maui, the left side of Ho'okipa, with Kona winds. We get Kona winds only a few times a year. Really offshore, but frontside goofy foot for me. And I've been wanting to kite it for a while. The last few opportunities I've either winged or windsurfed. We had a couple of days of windsurfing, and on the third day of Kona's, I said, oh, I'm going to grab my kite and give it a go. So really good fun. If you want to know about the gear, why I'm riding straps, for example, wait till the end of the video and we'll talk a little bit about equipment. Aloha. So I've been kiting now since, what, 1998, and doing it a lot since 2000. And there was a period there after I injured myself a couple of times where I really kited very little because I broke my pelvis kiting and then broke my foot a year later. But now I'm back at it and really enjoying it again. And sometimes people ask, why do I ride strapped most of the time instead of strapless? I'm one that has never changed my style since the sport began. I've always ridden directionals. I've never ridden a twin tip. I mean, I can, but never done it really for fun. And I like a board with the nose in the front and the tail in the back. And given the sports that I do surf, but being wind powered most of my life, I just love the feeling that I get riding with foot straps. For me, it's the difference between being a passenger and being a driver. And when I'm in straps, I feel in total control. I tend to ride pretty small boards most of the time as well. This is a 5'1", and it's a 5'2" now. Sorry, global 5'2". And that's pretty much what I've ridden, something like this for the last couple of decades. I like a pretty narrow stance, and I like my back foot as close to the tail as I can get. I really like to be able to stomp on the tail and really drive the board through bottom turns especially. And yeah, I like compact. I think as the waves get bigger, like if you look at this video, I probably, with the wind being as offshore and gusty as it was, I probably would have been better off with a little more length, you know, maybe 5'6", 5'7", something like that, to have a little more drive and not being hung up when the wind would die in between turns. But again, normally I'm on something like that. Thruster, I really like the way thrusters come around on a surfboard. And, yeah, I was riding a Pivot 8, and the wind was almost straight offshore, super on and off. I kept saying the wind was like being shot out of a cannon, nothing, and then 30 knots. It made riding pretty difficult, hard to connect turns because you'd be bottom turning, be tons of wind, get through your bottom turn, your kite just starts to fall out of the sky, try to catch up with it, and then off the top it'd be 30 knots again. But every once in a while you get a few turns locked in together that felt really good. So yeah, still kiting.